So to be completely transparent, and for all the listening audience out there, across Australia and any other country that's tuning in, you 100% have never in your competing history touched a performance-enhancing drug?
Beyond my competing history, my history.
Yes.
Ever.
And tested how many times in your career?
So, for an example, I was one of the most tested athletes in the world because of the circumstances of my rise to prominence. So, in 2010, I was a virtual unknown. 2011, I become the fastest man in history within a year period. Usually there's somewhat of a gradual rise to that prominence.
Yes.
For me, it came thick and fast, and as a result of that came accusations and testing. Not necessarily from Australia, but from around the world. Internally here in Australia, ASADA would have records of how many times they've tested me. And I would put good money on it being, if not the most an athlete's ever been tested, top couple of Australian athletes ever tested. During the London Olympics, I was tested daily. I did what was called a blood passport. So I'd go in each day and give a blood sample so that they could keep track of my blood and see if there were any irregularities in it across that period of the Olympic Games, before, during, and after competition. So there's no questions around my career as an athlete prior to retirement. Up until this day, I've never touched a performance-enhancing drug. I don't know what different types of performance-enhancing drugs are going to be recommended or suggested or tested, but I'm committed to doing this the safest way possible to, well, firstly, future-proof myself, but then also to use it as a test case. And let's say in a year's time, I race and I break the world record, or I race and I don't break the world record. Let's sit back. Let's go through this process. Let's see what worked. Let's see, were there any side effects? Were there any risks? And let's make a judgment on this process as a whole once we see the results. At the moment, all you're going to get is opinion. It's not opinion from medical experts. It's not opinions from people that have tried this or done this. And most of it is not opinions from athletes. Let's just keep our powder dry, work through the process, do it properly. I'm not going to rush this. I'm not going to go to the local juice head in the gym and say, what's your stack?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this properly. And it's probably going to have to be overseas. And I'm going to seek out the best.
Because things are illegal here, is that what you're saying?
I believe so, Joel. I believe so. I'm going to seek out the best medical experts in the world because, let's be honest, there's a bit at stake.
Yes.
My health, first and foremost.
Yep.
$1 million USD, secondary.